And this is a Fox News alert. Barack Obama is under fire for comments that he made at a San Francisco fundraiser criticizing small-town Pennsylvania voters. Take a look at the comments that are exploding tonight. Now, critics are already saying that the comments make Obama sound like an elitist or a snob. Now, the Clinton campaign and the McCain campaign have already responded, slamming Obama for being out of touch. Now, we're going to play you Obama's remarks and show you Senator Clinton's response in just a few minutes right here on Hannity and Colmes. Now, meanwhile, Bill Clinton injected himself into the Bosnia sniper gate scandal. The former president came to his wife's defense.
She took a terrible beating in the press for a few days because she was exhausted at 11 o'clock at night, and she started talking about Bosnia, and she misstated the circumstances under which she landed in Bosnia. Did y'all see all that? And, oh, they acted like, you know, she was practically Mata Hari, you know, just making up all this stuff. And then the president of Bosnia said, well, it was quite dangerous when she came. There were snipers in the hills around. And then General Wes Clark, who was there trying to make the peace among the Bosnians, said, yeah, it was really dangerous. Let me remind you, 3 Americans who were on my peacekeeping team were killed because they had to take a dangerous road because they couldn't go the regular way. And she had to go up into the cockpit with our daughter in a bulletproof area, and all the other people had to sit on their bulletproof flak jackets because it was dangerous. So she immediately said, okay, I misremembered that. They didn't cancel the welcoming ceremony, but it was pretty dangerous.
Now, not only has this revived the story from 2 weeks ago, but now Bill Clinton is being challenged on some of the claims that he made yesterday about the trip. The new Clinton fabrications include that Hillary Clinton made the sniper claim at 11 o'clock at night, when in fact the most glaring example of her using the story came during a morning press conference on March the 17th. According to ABC News, she made her false claims about the story several times, and none of them were even or ever at night. And Bill claims the president of Bosnia also thought that there were snipers around when, in fact, it has been reported recently that the then president claims he never believed that. And Bill claims that the pilots of the plane that she traveled in had the passengers sit on their flak jackets because of the threat of fire, presumably from the ground. But the pilot recently, in a radio interview, said that no one under his command has ever instructed a passenger to sit on their flak jacket. What a night of news. Joining us now with more is former White House Chief of Staff Hannity Card. Andy, welcome aboard.
Good to see you, Sean. Thanks for having me on.
What a busy news. Now, I'm looking at these comments by Barack Obama. It's not surprising they get bitter. They cling to guns or religion or antipathy toward people who aren't like them, or anti-American sentiment or anti-trade sentiment as a way to explain their frustrations. Sounds to me like he's saying to small-town America that they're a bunch of gun-toting, Bible-thumping bigots.
He wouldn't say what he said in Pennsylvania. He said it in San Francisco to a group of elitists, I'm sure, and I think that he was a chameleon trying to fit with an audience in San Francisco that he's more comfortable with rather than being the man of the people that he claims to be in Pennsylvania. So, yeah, I think this is pretty damaging.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this. Does this maybe, can America now begin to interpret this? Does this explain Michelle Obama's comment she's never been proud of her country? Does this explain Michelle Obama saying that America in 2008 is a mean country? Does this explain Jeremiah Wright? Does this explain William Ayers? Does this put a lot of the pieces of the puzzle together?
I think all of what you're stating represents a piece of a puzzle that we're now beginning to understand. I was one of those who felt Michelle Obama's comments were really comments of a wife supportive of her husband. But I do think there's much more to it. I think there are many pieces of that puzzle, and we're looking at the puzzle now, and we can identify someone who is not proud to be an American, someone who may not love this country the way they claim they love it, and I'm worried that his campaign is not all about all of us. I think it may be about the elitists in the country that think they have better solutions than the reality that we're living.
But do you agree with my assessment that he's telling middle America and small towns around this country, hey, you're a bunch of gun-toting, Bible-thumping bigots? That's how I interpret this. Do you agree with that interpretation?
That's what I hear in the words that he said in San Francisco in a forum that wasn't designed to be public.
Yeah.
So yes, I think that's what he believes.
Well, I've got to wonder what the reaction is here, because he pretty much has this, at least according to my count, I mean, he had this campaign wrapped up. Is there any chance that this would revive Hillary's campaign?
Oh, I think it's still pretty dynamic, especially in Pennsylvania, although I do believe Hillary Clinton's campaign is in trouble. But I think Barack Obama has had a stumble, and this is not the first stumble, but it may be his biggest one. And, you know, he also proved that maybe what he said in San Francisco reflects why he only bowled 37
Andy, why do you,
well,
it is about bowling, by the way. Why does it okay for you to put down San Francisco? Call them a bunch of elitists. You don't like the fact that,
well, I don't think San Francisco represents all of America.
I mean, I keep hearing Nancy Pelosi, San Francisco values. I keep hearing people on the right put down San Francisco, but it's okay to put. It's not okay to put down Pennsylvania, but it's okay to put down so-called elitists in San Francisco.
Well, no, I think it's just stating a fact. I think that many of the people in San Francisco are elitists, and they do not share the same concerns that people in central Pennsylvania
Were they not as American? You used to also, you also said in the last segment.
America is a fabulous country, and we've got all kinds, and we should have all kinds. But I don't think that what San Francisco people decide when they go to the polls is what America would decide.
Wait a minute, they're part of America. I mean, you just said in the last part of the interview with Sean that she's not, Michelle Obama, you're talking about, is not proud to be an American because of the things she said.
No, that was the pieces of the puzzle begin to look like that. You just wonder if that's their mindset.
You don't know what's in her heart. To say that someone's not proud of their country, and you're putting down an entire different segment of the country. You're putting down people from San Francisco, which I don't think is proper.
I like people from San Francisco. They're smart, but I don't claim that they represent the common views in America. They represent views in America. They're important views in America, but I don't think they represent the vast majority of concerns that need to be addressed in this country.
Is that we are, as David Dinkins, former New York mayor, said, a great mosaic.
We are a great mosaic.
We think in many different ways.
I come from Massachusetts.
I've lived there. It's a great state.
It is. It's a commonwealth.
And, you know, people have been negative about Massachusetts, calling it the Socialist Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Taxachusetts, when Michael Dukakis was... So people have put down your state.
And the label fit at the time.
Well, but the point is, why put down any part of America? I understand the concerns about what Barack Obama said about Pennsylvania, but to call people of a particular geographical location, a name like elitists or anything else, and single them out is no better than what you're accusing Barack Obama of doing.
I apologize. Guilty as charged. I didn't mean it as a slight. I meant it as a description.
And you're also slighting someone's patriotism when you say that Michelle Obama, you know, doesn't love her country, or the Obamas don't love their country, as if you love your country more if you think more on your side of the plate.
I'm taking the words that she said and giving an interpretation that I think is credible. Well, that doesn't mean that I think she's less than a patriot. I don't think that her words represented words that a patriot would say.
All right,
I'm sure that she didn't mean them as they were said, but that's what she said.
We thank you for being with us tonight. And
thank you very much.
Coming up more on the...